can you plant a church in YouTube? Now, depends on how you define a church, and it depends on what you're going to do there. So one of the things that we talk about is content leads to connection, connection leads to community. So if you're going to have a church in YouTube, you need to ultimately lead to the place where you have community. Now, I'm one of those odd people out there that I had a physical church, and as soon as YouTube allowed live streaming, we were live streaming our worship services. So I'd been doing it for like a dozen years before everyone decided to jump online in COVID. But I wasn't planting a church. I was taking an existing church that already had community. We were publishing our services, and then we were going live when we were able to go live so that if you were sick or are homebound could stay connected. But when COVID happened, one of the things I realized was even though we had a live service, it wasn't made for the person who was sitting at home. We needed to make some adjustments around that so that the person that was always remote, always digital, felt part of it. We spoke to them. We invited them in. We had moderators in the chat to engage them in conversations. And I actually did this while the service was happening. When I wasn't up on stage, I was in the chat, also chatting along with them, engaging them in community. Now, you still, I think, need to go a step further because while that video is there, you might have a synchronous community that's going on, or if it's live, you might be able to have the chat going on, but that only goes so far. You need to probably have another platform where the community meets in between those live events and in between when you have a video out there that's posted for people to make comments on it. Those comments are going to go back and forth, and people are going to want more than just that. So yes, you can start a church by using YouTube. Yes, you can plant a church by using YouTube. However, where are you going to gather those people together so they can build and foster deep relationships where they can have community conversations back and forth in between all of your live events? You need to have that part of it too. But if you want to start it on YouTube, if you want to do that, you can do that. The other thing you could do, you could, if this were to happen, through creating that community online, and then you discover there's a group of people that are all centrally located in a geographic gathering. You could start Bible studies that would physically be planted out of that digital church plant that would be YouTube focused, YouTube centric, community building that could gather in physical spaces. And maybe it doesn't happen. I've got friends who globally watch me in my things that I put out there. And the person in the Philippines and the person in New Zealand isn't going to gather. But we have community together in Discord. We have community together as we gather to watch and share and study the Bible all online.